Nanata ni Senador Alan Peter Cayetano si dating Senadora Laila de Lima matapos punahin ng dating Senadora ang kredibilidad ni Cayetano sa pagtalakay ng human rights at due process matapos maaresto si dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte. Binigyan din ni Cayetano na malinaw sa saligang batas ng bansa na may karapatan ng bawat individual sa due process kabilang si Duterte. Iginit ng mambabatas ng due process ay dapat ipatupad sa lahat anuman ang kulay ng politika. Pinabulaanan din ng senador ang bintang umano ni de Lima na sinuportahan nitong extrajudicial killing sa ilalim ng administrasyong Duterte. Anya, hindi dapat gawing sandata ang human rights para sa pansariling interes sa politika. Pinuna din ng senador ang pahig ni de Lima sa issue ng extrajudicial killings. Gate niya, hindi siya kailanman pumayag sa anumang pang-aabuso. Nagbabala ito ng pagtulak na iparesto si Duterte nang hindi dumaan sa tamang proseso ay maaring maging mapanganib na president at gamitin laban sa mga kalaban sa politika.
Let's pause and not think about sino ba yung binabanggit natin, we're pro o anti-Duterte, pero ano yung batas at ano dapat yung applicable sa kanya. At kaya nga doon ako nag-react kasi sabi ni former Senator De Lima, I'm the last person who should talk about human rights and due process. Pero ang nakalagay sa Constitution, every person, 'di ba? All, 'di ba? All nakalagay nga doon, 'di ba? No person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process. All. No person. Person po si President Duterte, person po ako, 'di ba? So, yun po ang problema pag nagiging exclusive, nagiging elitist ang human rights sa isang grupo o isang tao lang. Para bang pagka sinabi mo human rights, bawal ka daw doon, bawal daw tayo.
Una nang sinabi ni de Lima na walang karapatan si Cayetano na magturo patungkol sa human rights. Sa katunayan anya ay dapat ding arestuin ng senador ng International Criminal Court sa paghimok nito sa madugong war on drugs noong administrasyong Duterte.
The Bible says, there is a time to be great. Kagaya ko. Presidente ako ngayon. I do not know why. But there will always be a time that I will be nobody. And that is sure to come. And maybe to die thereafter. There is always a time for plenty. But there is always a time for want. There is always time to be merry, happy, and a time to be sad. A time to be healthy, strong, kung bata ka pa. But as sure as the sun will rise in the east, we will get old and get weak and sick. There's a time to feast, but there's time to want. A time to be spending, may pera ka, but sometimes may problema. And a time for war, and a time for peace. And a time to be born, and a time to die.
Una kong maiisip is bastos. No? Bastos. Bastos in a way na hindi siya na-accord ng due process din. No? Puwersahan, nandun. So, nandun yung nakita naman po natin, di ba? Na kung paano siya natrato. Halos sabihin niya na kung hindi ka tatayo dyan, kakalad ka rin kita, iakyat kita. How can you say that to a former president?
You are a previous member of the Council of the ICC before, right?
Hanggang ngayon.
Okay.
Now.
Sir, pwede po bang makakasuhan yung nag-violate ng Rule 59 ng...
Gusto ko muna maiuwi ang presidente.
Okay.
Matagal masyado attorney. Yeah, matagal.
Malaki ba? Sir, malaki po ba ang chance na makauwi siya ng Pinas?
Ako'y naniniwala naman.
Yes.
Merong mga pagkakataon.
Okay. Jesus
Hindi
name.
namin natin sa September. Hingi kami na mas maagang
Malungkot
date
ito.
para sa issue ng jurisdiction.
Attorney, what if
Saka wala nang tuyo.
Wala.
Attorney, kung may uwi siya sa Pinas, ano pong mangyayari sa kanya? I-detain po ba siya sa Pinas? Si,
Ang plano namin, uwi siya at wala na siyang kaso.
yes. That's what we are looking.
Ang dami na po naglabasan dun sa atin sa kalsada. Anong masasabi niyo sa kanila?
Ay, pagpatuloy nila. May pagpatuloy.
Pahiwatig ang
Go!
inyong loobin. Karapatan niyo yan!
Sir, I came from Davao. Ngayon, may mga pulis na nakasurrounded doon sa bahay ng mayor namin. So, anong say mo doon, sir?
Hindi pa ba sapat ang ginawa nila? Kinidnap nila yung tao at pinakulong dito sa Hague? Ano ang gusto nilang gawin?
Si Diwata!
Gusto pa ba nila na pulbusin talaga ang lahat ng Duterte?
2 days ago, the whole world has witnessed the degrading fashion in which a former president of a sovereign country was bundled into a private aircraft and summarily transported to The Hague. To us lawyers, this would be called an extrajudicial rendition. To the less legally inclined, it was a pure and simple kidnapping. My client was denied all access to the legal recourse in the country of his citizenship, and this all in the nature of political score settling. Two troubled entities struck an unlikely alliance, an incumbent president who wished to neutralize and choke the legacy of my client and his daughter on the other hand, and a troubled legal institution subject to delegitimization and desperate for a price cuts and a legal show today on the other hand. With this in mind, it is not surprising that my client was abducted from his country. ICC private jets do not drop out of the thin air. That jet which received my client was coordinated in advance. The UAE is not a state party to the ICC and has no obligation to cooperate with the court. Yet my client sat in transit in that country for more than 5 hours. I invite the registry's representative to present today in court to explain to the judges exactly how they believe this transfer was anything other than a gross abuse of process. Given the precipitous arrival of my client, an elderly man with debilitating medical issues, hard of hearing and poor of sight, he was taken to a hospital for observation. Only this morning have I met him for the first time with less than an hour to discuss legal issues. I have not been able to present him with a hard copy of the arrest warrant because we were not supplied with such. I have not even been able to explain to him what the prosecution requested when seeking the issuance of the arrest warrant. This is because the chamber only established a redacted version of the prosecution request last night. Other than to identify himself, my client is not able to contribute anything to this hearing. Most importantly, he is not able even to tell you that he has been informed of the charges as contained in the arrest warrant for a reason more pertinent to which I alluded in my written request to this honorable pretrial chamber this morning, and which is confidential in nature. Accordingly, I repeat my respectful request, which was rejected this morning, to postpone the substantive aspect of this hearing to the next week, when I will have the opportunity to sit with my client and to explain to him what a confirmation hearing is and what the disclosure is, and how the prosecution alleges that he committed crime.